Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense. That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense. In today's episode, we're going to talk about celebrity 2 cents, the opinions that nobody asked for. Let's get right into it, Kevin. When it comes to celebrity opinions on anything, what's your take on it? Do you look to them for advice and or inspiration when it comes to your everyday life?
I just want everybody to read my shirt because that should be your opinions on celebrities and their opinions.
For our blind listeners, his shirt says, "Shh, nobody cares."
That's right.
That's a fact check. Shh,
no
one cares.
Yeah. So I don't know why people listen to them. They shouldn't. Basically, they're just a bunch of people who can read lines and do this. And that's basically it. For our blind listeners, I just raised one eyebrow and gave a menacing stare. Arr. I don't know, because they have a platform, I guess, and that's why people listen to them. I don't, because they're a bunch of morons who really research nothing, and basically their opinions should not matter to you. If your opinions matter or are swayed by the likes of, let's say LeBron James or what's his name, Dwayne Johnson, or anybody that puts no research into anything, you're a moron. And I would like you to stop listening to us, because if we, who actually do some research, are not swaying your opinion against that guy, just go ahead and stop listening if you're one of the 17 people who do.
No, keep listening so we can help make you smart.
Actually,
we can't afford to lose any of the 14 listeners we have.
Listen and tell TMZ about us.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think you're probably, I don't know. I think they offer up on their opinions on stuff, and I kind of have this now. I kind of feel like, I'm sure, like, acting's hard work. I've had to memorize stuff for stuff, and it's actually not that hard if you use a trick I learned, but whatever. But like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard, but they make a shit ton of money to pretend to be other people. Now, I do appreciate comedians, because that actually does take some decent talent and creativity on their own. But it's like, if they're a successful celebrity, they make a shit ton of money, and it's for pretending to be other people. And I think, kind of like what we discussed before, where you have these people that have a job and they make a lot of money at it, but there's not a lot of effort that goes into it. So there might feel a little bit of guilt there. So they feel like, I need to do something, so I'm going to take up a cause. The problem is, they always, like, I don't know how many, the guy who played Hellboy, like, he would tweet
Ron
about
Perlman?
shit. Yeah, and just be totally wrong.
Oh, I know. That's one of the worst of them, because, like,
he did the "don't say gay" thing, didn't he?
Yeah, he's like, you can't say gay in Florida, and it's not what the whole bill was about. Nowhere in the bill does the word gay ever come up. Nowhere in the bill is it about anything about gay people. It's just, don't talk about sex and gender stuff to kindergartners through 3rd grade. And that's it. And he was like, I'm going to say gay in Florida. Arrest me, Ron DeSantis. Like, you're a fucking moron.
Well, that's what's funny about it, though, because, like, especially with that one, because that was a big one. You got those people just going around saying gay, 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 politicians, all kinds of people. And it's like, and I grant there are a lot of stupid people in this country, like, a lot. We can call them uneducated.
You mean like the racist people on The View?
Yes, and they are super racist, too. Yeah, they're all morons. That show is obviously being funded by somebody, because I mean, you see people in the audience, but how many people actually watch that show? Like, there is a show on the Blaze called, I think, The News and Why It Matters, and it gets more viewers than Potato Head on CNN, like every night. Doesn't matter. So it's like, how do these how do these shows stay on? And it's same thing with like, it's what I don't understand with celebrities. Like, I get like they feel like they have this platform, but they use it for the dumbest shit. But do you think there are people that actually hang on their every word? And if so, why?
Absolutely, there are because just like in the '60s and stuff, there's like groupies for rock bands and stuff. I'm sure these movie stars and athletes. I'm sure they have their own set of groupies that hang on their every word. Will believe whatever they say, and when you already have a decision in your mind on something, uh, like if somebody reaffirms that decision and it's a celebrity, you're just gonna take it, and run with it, no matter how wrong they are and how wrong you are. Um, you're always going to run with that decision. Like if somebody affirms your decision at any point, you're gonna agree with them without putting any real research into it. So you're like, hey, Tom Cruise agrees with me. He's a smart guy, so I'll believe everything from here on out he says. So, they can go from one thing and all of a sudden somebody will be like, oh yeah, being he agreed with me on this, he must be right about, if he believes X and he agrees with me on X, then Y must be true as well. Which I think that's part of it, and people are dumb. So that's also part of it. Like people are just plain dumb and they'll believe whatever anybody says. So don't be a dum dum.
That is words to live by. Don't be a dum dum. I don't. Yeah, I don't get why people. I don't know. Maybe we're both kind of skeptical about everything. I call it a healthy dose of paranoia, to where you just question everything. It's like, this guy's trying to sell me something. It's like as soon as COVID started, like at about March of 2020, I was like, something up with that short dude with the weird face and scarf lady. Like there's something going on there. Turns out I was 100% right, even though 4 of these episodes on Spotify have links to learn more about COVID. You don't need to learn more about COVID by clicking those links. It just takes you to podcasts about COVID. Learn everything you need to know right here on the Lost Art of Common Sense.
And COVID's basically over. So
Not according to the government.
of course not to the government. They're just waiting for the next pandemic, so they got to drag this one out as long
They
as
literally
possible.
brought that up. Like,
Oh, I know. So
it's like, oh no, we got to be ready for the next one.
and basically COVID was over, I would say, by the end of 2020, and basically the whole time. So it should have been over immediately. Like we should have done what every sane person in America, except for celebrities and the left and the COVID board that headed by Mike fucking Pence, uh, you know, what they were saying is, just shelter your, the people who are most susceptible to it, and everybody else get along, go along with your lives how you were. If you get sick, don't go out, don't go out spreading it. Stay in. That's it.
Yeah, you would think so. Of course, then you had celebrities. We talked about it on that one, like Schwarzenegger coming out and be like, "Just stay in your house and pet your donkey."
Well, he did have donkeys. I was going to say go. I don't know why I always said go, but yeah, he has, get out to your donkeys. Wow, wow, wow.
Do your part, pet your donkey. It's like, what are you doing? I'm at home petting my donkey like Arnold Schwarzenegger told me to. You don't have a donkey. What?
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger told me to get a donkey, so I did.
Ah, damn it.
I'm wearing my mask.
I'm wearing my mask and petting my donkey.
See,
But it's
and
like that's another thing though. Like, so these people offer their opinions, and there's nothing wrong with being rich. Like I said, I want to be rich one day. But I mean, people that don't have to worry about whether or not your next paycheck's going to come in, or this or that, or if you're going to be able to make this bill. They live on a different level of reality. Like,
yeah, and one that I would love to
everybody's
live
got
on.
problems, but it's like when he says just stay home, it's like, well, what if your home sucks, or you don't have like millions of dollars sitting in the bank? So not working, of course, apparently tons of Americans took that up and just didn't go back to the workforce, which is why the unemployment numbers are bullshit, along with the other stuff. But it's like they disconnect. So that's why.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
why do you feel celebrities feel the need to voice their opinions on everything from domestic to national affairs? Are they doing it? And this is why I'm wondering, because it does seem like most celebrities, when they talk and open their mouth and words come out, it does seem to be mostly to one certain side. Do you think it's just about getting work, or do they actually believe the bullshit that's coming out of their mouth?
I think. Ooh, that's a good question. Um,
Hmm.
I like to draw back to the fact that you said they live on a different plane first, and uh, they do live on a different plane. When they're when they talk about kids should stay in school or stay out of school during like COVID and stuff, they should not have. They don't know. They have private tutors for their kids, so they can afford private tutors. All this, they don't have to have their kids do. Uh, their kids are living in mansions. They're not living in a two-bedroom apartment, or one-bedroom apartment with a hide a bed. What trying to connect on shitty internet service to Zoom their classes. Um, so they have no idea what the real life is, especially for low income families. And this whole lockdown thing is who that affected the most, especially with uh, especially kids, because I mean kids need to socialize. We went through this earlier, but I mean it's a total disconnect. So they have no idea what's going on there. And to your second part of your question, uh, I think it's a, I think some of them, most of them believe what they're saying, and they do lean to one certain side. But I think there's also probably a portion of them that are playing along because, from what I've heard, is they don't. If you lean to the other side, unless you're an established actor, uh, you're not getting work. So they kind of got to pretend, and maybe they all come in on the one side, then like they pretend, then they just I don't know, maybe they pretend so long that it's like method acting. They just get into character and they can't get out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know where the hell I was, but I did not know that Chris Evans is basically a fucking communist. So I'm never going to
Captain
look at
America,
Captain America the same way. What the shit
Captain
was that?
Captain America, Captain Communist.
Did that costume give you a rash, Chris Evans? You
Yes,
jerk.
you jerk face.
But like, yeah, that's why I kind of wonder. But here's the thing, though, unless like the studio or their agent says you better go say something and you better make sure it's crazy and does not make any sense and is totally detached from reality, or you're not going to get any work. Like, why wouldn't you just keep your mouth shut and just not say anything? Like, I don't understand the compulsion. Now, granted, everybody chimes in, especially on Twitter, stuff like that. But if you have a platform and you start like, they just don't seem to. Now, Hollywood is noticing it. It's hard. It's starting to hit them in the pocketbook. But like, actors are like alienating. At least I would argue that a lot of the stuff they come out against, I'm thinking, especially now that people are actually waking up, um, you're alienating over half of the country with your stupid opinions on stuff. And that's the problem. When you have a platform, people listen to you. So, like, if you go out and say something dumb, I mean, like Pink, if you are, if you're for the Roe versus Wade being turned over, you don't need to listen to my music. Okay. I don't. Like these people think like people can't go
I don't know if
without.
I can name a Pink song.
I can't either, but I mean, she's not a bad singer, but it's like there is nobody in any level of entertainment that people can't go without. So it's like, okay, whatever, don't give a shit. But it's they say things like that because they already have money in the bank and they think that their fame will never wear out. But I don't know.
You mean like when Chris Evans pretty much said if you don't, if you care about the two women kissing or whatever in Lightyear, you're a homophobe and a or whatever, pretty much just, he probably insulted a large portion, well, pretty much any major religious person, Jewish or Christian, even Muslim, that, so
Well, what if you didn't like it being in the movie because it delivered absolute zero, like anything to the movie? Like it was just they just put it in there. There was yeah, and they had like 1/5 the budget of
yeah.
Lightyear.
So you
I
don't
don't know.
if you don't think that has anything to do with uh marketing and what Disney is right now, then you're a fool.
Here's what I don't get. If I owned a studio, like say I ran Disney and I was not paying attention to what was going on and all this woke stuff started coming out or whatever, but let's say we put out a movie. It's kind of struggling in the box office. And then one of the lead or the lead actor in the movie comes out and talks shit about a pretty decent size of the population. I'd be kind of pissed off. It's like, look, Dick, we're trying to get people to go to the movie, not cause a total brand wide boycott. So if you could just shut your mouth and just say the lines that you're given and you're paid for, that'd be great. If I ran a studio, like I would be like, I don't want you to say anything. Just shut your mouth. I don't care if it's pro right or left. Shut your mouth. Be entertaining when I tell you to be entertaining.
Why are
Zach.
these why are these corporations bowing to one political side? I don't get it.
Uh, oh, that's ESG,
Was
which we will get
ESG
into
that
later. But
important?
well, okay, so I'm thinking we'll get into this a little bit later, but so facto, I'm thinking a lot of people are banking on this new world order, great reset, and I think these corporations are basically promised a bunch of money, but if you don't go on with ESG, you're not going to get loans, this or that. So it's a business decision. They don't believe the crap that they're saying. They're just doing it to
Of
get a
course
good
they
business.
are. Like there's got to be a financial endpoint to this because as of right now, there a lot of these companies are bowing to a woke society where I would guess probably 70% of the people don't give a shit about woke.
We need to do an episode on woke and just all the stupid shit that goes along with that. Now, anyone who's ever referred to themselves as woke should run themselves face first into a brick wall to try to get all those bad thoughts out of your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's the only way you're gonna get them out. Face
Yeah,
first, full sprint into a brick wall.
I don't know. And I don't know. Is this why? I don't know. Maybe that's why Hollywood in general is doing this. I don't think Hollywood used to be pretty conservative, like Ronald Reagan and John Wayne and
The Duke.
the Duke,
You seen
Um,
that meme? Like, it says like it's got John Wayne and then like a typical. I don't even know what you call him. I don't even call this dude a hipster. He's wearing like almost like Daisy Dukes, skin tight. Shouldn't be skin tight because he's a little frumpy. Pink cut off shirt with a man bun, and it said like something between like 1950 and now went horribly wrong.
it's absolutely true.
Like this was a man in the 1950s, and this strange fellow over here is a man in the 2020s.
Well, you could almost say 1980 or 1990 or even
Yeah,
early
80s were
2000s,
awesome.
really. Even
80s were
early
awesome.
2000s, really.
Now the 90s, I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. I think it all started with Jinkos.
It did start with Chico's. You
That's when
big,
dudes technically started wearing dresses.
you, you think that was the start?
I don't
Like, oh
know.
my god, there's a lot of air in my. I like my my
Oh,
junk being a little cooler.
there's a lot of movement going on here.
There's a lot of room in these.
I could fit 3 people in one pant leg, and I have to use a one of those little grabber things to get my wallet out of the bottom of my pocket, which is now down by my shoe.
Why would you need that? Because it's always chained up. And that's why you
Well,
have
that's
wallet
true.
chains.
That's why you had to have the chain to fish it out of your
Yeah.
pocket.
Yes, it was fucking like I don't know, like an arm length down.
I know we had a buddy that wore Jankos in high school,
Yeah.
and I made fun of him mercilessly,
How could you not?
mercilessly every day.
You'd have to.
It's like, nice dress, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
See, that's amongst buddies, and that's kind of bullying that makes them better because he stopped wearing them,
Yes,
and he's
and
a better person for it.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure the day that he stopped wearing Jinkos is the day he became a man.
That's when his whole life turned around.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to back to the celebrity thing, because I really wanted to ask you about this one. So, what did you think of John Cena apologizing to the Chicoms, otherwise known as China, in Mandarin for saying that Taiwan was a country?
I don't think that's actually John Cena's idea. I'm guessing that's the studio's idea.
Doesn't matter.
And
The fact that he did it in
I know.
Mandarin.
Well, I know, but I'm guessing that at some point somebody who signs his paycheck or is going to give him more money later on, it's self-preservation. And
Yeah, but like,
let's not call it past that. It's self-preservation. Even if he didn't believe it. I mean, I actually like John Cena. I thought he was really good in the one with the on HBO back or whatever it was, where he's a superhero that shoots stuff.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't like him.
I don't know. I thought that was a good show. So I think it was. I personally think it was a self-preservation move because I don't think he was going to get. He either was going to get something axed like his movie contracts, like he probably signed a contract for like 3-4 movies. Um, then they said that Taiwan should be an independent nation, and all of a sudden, like there's a ton of money in China for these companies. So I'm guessing some exec or CEO of whatever studio it was like, now you gotta apologize or we're screwed.
Okay, so
I'm not saying it's morally or even like correct. I'm not even
it's
saying
morally imprehensible, something like that. It's a word.
I what it
I can't think of
is
how to pronounce it.
it's
Our audience knows what I'm
self-preservation.
talking about.
It's rich people like staying rich. So
Oh yeah, because if he didn't get that, I don't know what he does with money. Maybe he spends it all on bubble gum. I don't know.
he
But
might.
he does make me laugh. I think he does a good job at that character. It just pisses me off that not only did he turn around and say a nation doesn't exist and apologize for it, he didn't. It was a total bitch.
Oh no, it was a bitch move. And let's call a spade a spade. It was a bitch move. I mean, the dude's a bitch for doing it. But I get why he did it.
Yeah, I mean that just made me so mad because he is entertaining. I think he looks weird though. Like something happened to his face from when he was in. I don't know if he lost a bunch of weight.
He might have.
Maybe
I
he's
don't know.
ripped, but like back when he was in WWE to now, he looks weird. And I don't
Probably
understand why.
steroids. The same reason The Rock is a giant fucking head compared to when he was a
The
wrestler.
Rock does not do steroids, Kevin. It's totally natural.
Yeah. You smell what The Rock's injecting?
Yeah. Those are horse tranquilizers mixed with amphetamines.
The dude's bigger than he's ever
talk
been.
today.
The dude's bigger than he's ever been, and he's fucking like 50 fucking years old.
You know,
I'm not saying he doesn't work out. I'm not saying he doesn't put a lot of work into it. I'm just saying there's probably a little bit of chemical.
Oh, he is 100% juicing, and I don't care. Like
I don't either.
No, he got caught juicing. He did.
Oh.
But I don't give a shit. I don't care if athletes juice. I don't care. Who cares? You want to take steroids? Take steroids. It might make you lactate and angry, and I think you could possibly develop some other. I think you
and your testicles go really small.
They get tiny. Well, here's the problem. Here's the thing, though.
Pea-size
When
testicles.
you're taking anything that boosts your testosterone, you also have to take an estrogen blocker for it because when you get too much testosterone in your body, Kevin, it switches over to estrogen, and then your nipples start leaking.
Well, it's a good thing the left's taking over because everybody's going to get estrogen eventually.
It's like estrogen, like daily dose on the media. That's why I don't watch it. That's why I don't watch it. Last question on this topic is: what we're doing any different than celebrities speaking out about stuff? Or are we? I mean, obviously we're not celebrities. We could be someday, or like what we're doing, totally fine, totally different.
It is totally different. We actually give a little bit of thought into what we're saying. We know what I think we know what we're talking about. We have a little bit of research going on. We we aren't controlled by anybody. We do our own thing. I think that's the main thing. If we say something dumb, we can't shut ourselves down. I mean, we can. We won't. Where we going? If we lose subscribers, so be it. I'm never going to stop saying what I believe in. If they say what they believe in, there's a possibility they don't get any more money. I mean, I guess at some point, if I work for a company that actually believed, I guess somebody could dox us, but whatever, I can find work somewhere else. This is what I enjoy to do. I'm not going to shut up. Uh, so I don't know. I think it's different.
Well, yeah, I think the fact that we're not celebrities is.
That's
I was just
obviously
saying,
why
like,
the biggest difference.
the reason I asked is because, like, now, granted, people can choose, or well, it goes with anything. People can choose whether or not they want to listen to the show or not. But I mean, we're two people throwing our opinions out in the ether. It's like, who gives a shit about your opinion? We're not saying you do. This is more of like a census
I'm trying
of
to
the
be
average
entertaining.
Joe's opinion.
I'm trying to be entertaining, but I'm also giving you like an average Joe. An average Joe is a funny guy. He drinks a beer with you. Cheers. Uh, he talks shit. Sometimes he talks politics, and that's what we do. Sometimes we talk shit about whatever else. Uh, that's why we do shows on aliens and all kinds of shit. We just talk whatever we think is is fun to talk about or what we feel needs to be talked about. Uh, we just give our opinion, and you can take it with a grain of salt. I don't care. Just enjoy us, or don't. I don't care. Just just listen. Just like, subscribe, and comment, and all the other stuff on our pages and stuff.
That's right. Follow us on Rumble, Truth, Locals, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Even though I don't post on Instagram that much because it's a video and it's hard and blah blah. And if you don't know what Rumble is, welcome to 2020 or whenever it came out. I mean, God.
And please switch over to Rumble if you can. One, I just, yeah, exactly. I just say just go to the Rumble because I mean we're always going to post on YouTube, but I think at some point I think YouTube might be slowing our outreach.
I think they are. But yeah, I mean, just like Rumble, like in they do, that's the one thing I don't like about when like people like talk about like you have these. It's not like Rumble is a right company now. Anything that believes in freedom of speech is now like right wing crazy, but people get upset when you get like left wing people and stuff. Like, no, if it's an open forum, it's an open forum. Like, I don't care if there's a bunch of far left people on Truth or Rumble or whatever. Who cares? As long as people aren't getting censored. If I don't want to listen to some left wing dumbass that says I have to believe what this person believes they are or that crap, I don't have to follow. And if they start harassing me, I can block them or I can argue with them. I like arguing with people, especially people on the
I
left, because,
love I love to
well,
argue.
yeah, nobody's opinion on the left is based in reality and cannot stand up to common sense or logic. So they're fun to mess with, and then they get angry because that's what
Ooh,
happens when you don't have facts on your side. You get
I'm on a
throw a
I'm on a
tantrum.
I'm on a Facebook argument right now.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, all the
Yeah.
trolling that goes on through our channel is 99% of the time Kevin.
Oh, I just do this. Yeah, for sure.
He's
Uh,
a trolling king.
well, somebody was talking about Biden, like, why should we blame Biden for the gas? And I was like, oh, you're stupid.
Yeah, those are
Then,
people that
then
don't.
I was like, well, this woman goes, explain this. You do know we still have cheaper gas than the rest of the world. Is that Biden's fault also? And I said, yes. We have oil. They don't. And that was my whole comment. She goes, I think you need to rethink that. The United Kingdom is one of the top 20 oil producers in the world. I'm like, they are. They're number 19 at 1 billion barrels a day. We are number one at 14 billion. We so, like, yeah, I
Well,
threw
that's
out
the thing
number.
that irks me
When you
about like,
argue, you just got to argue with actual logic and numbers.
yeah, because the reaction to it is awesome.
Well, they
But
still try to, but then they start, they move the goalposts. Keep
well, then
moving
you
the
saw.
goalposts, folks.
Did you see that clip where that reporter asked Biden um, about how 2/3 of the Democrats don't want him to run again, and he comes up to the camera and he's like, "Oh no, 90% of people said they'd vote for me again." I'm like, no, no, they didn't. It's like the exact opposite.
Yeah,
They
90%
they
of
don't want
Democrats
you.
said they'll vote Democrat again. That was,
Well, and here's the thing, though. And all these polls, though, like it's like, yeah, Biden's the most unliked president in the history of the country, but it's important that people realize that it's not Biden doing this. Biden's not doing anything. He's literally reading a script on camera. End quote. Repeat line. Dude's not doing anything. This is the left's agenda. It's not Biden. You replace Biden with any other mainstream
this
Democrat,
still would be
same
happening,
shit's gonna
folks.
happen. Yeah,
I don't
like it's
care if it
not
was Bernie
Biden.
Sanders or Kamala Harris or Pete Buttigieg or whatever his name is,
Butt gig.
Butt Gag, right?
It's something like that.
Yeah. Or whoever it would be, it's it would be the same.
Yeah, it's not Biden. I mean, and to get into the general discussion, I did want to ask you about is the media saying Biden is too old to run again? Like they're really pushing that now. Some people say they want to get him out of there and they don't run again. I personally think that they're setting the stage to say that Trump's too old to run in 2024. So because they're like saying, "Oh, see, he's too old," and when Trump runs in 2024, if he wins, he'll be the same age as Biden was last year when he got inaugurated.
I think they're setting it up to where they can go after Trump because of his age, but I think for the most part, I think the media wants Trump to win again. I mean, let's be real.
If they like
The
money,
the left's highest ratings was between 2016 and 2020 or 2020. I mean, so yeah, they want Trump to win, but they also got to pretend that they don't want Trump to win. You know, so um, yeah. So this is just a big setup to where they can say something
that's what I was
when he.
thinking. But if Trump runs again, he needs to. This is just my personal opinion because I am not like to anybody like, yeah, whatever he says, this guy's totally awesome. Whatever. Trump needs to. Granted, 2020 election was shady as fuck. And if you listen to him talk, that's all he really talks about. Now he's like in this thing with Elon Musk. It's like, dude, you were arguably on your results one of the best presidents in the history of the country. I don't care if you like Trump or hate him. Take the person out of it and just look at the 3 years of his presidency. Take the person out and just what happened in the country those 3 years. Arguably one of the greatest presidents in the history of the country. Has so much to run on, and he keeps talking about the dumbest shit. And like, if he's going to run in 2024, he needs to get off. I mean, I wouldn't even call that part of Trump's charm. I do like how he doesn't take shit. World leaders respect him. Even if they don't respect him, they fear him because he's like, well, this guy's crazy. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're dealing with other countries, you want to be the dominant force. It's not bad to have countries thinking you're crazy. But like, if he runs, he's getting a nomination for Republican, hands down. Like, you look at the polling, like even DeSantis doesn't even come close. Like,
No, I think it's like 70-20 or 70-20, I think.
Yeah, like he gets
Then
it
it's
hands
like
down.
10% like to like Nikki Haley and like whoever else is running.
I don't even know why. If Trump runs, I don't know why anybody would even run against him.
I don't
Uh,
think DeSantis is gonna run.
no, well, see. I just think like the best thing for the best thing to get the world back into check, honestly, because his foreign policy was concrete. That dude was killed it on foreign policy. Is Trump back in office for 4 years with DeSantis as his vice president, and then after that term, hand it off to DeSantis. He runs. Hopefully, he gets 8 years, and we can actually turn the country around. Because there's going to have to be a lot of like, there's got to be a lot of soul searching in this country to get us back to, you know, where we were. Because and not necessarily where we were, because we always have problems. So we learn and we move forward. But I think a Trump DeSantis ticket would be awesome, just because you got two people that don't take shit off of anybody, and it would be a loss to Florida. I mean,
I don't
honestly,
think
and
this DeSantis isn't going to go for. He
I
won't
think he
go
wants.
for.
He likes being governor. He's
I don't
killing it
think.
in
I don't think he's
Florida.
going to go for vice president. I don't think he wants to be second fiddle to Trump. I don't think Trump
It's
wants
not
somebody
being
who
second
else.
fiddle.
But
It's
I
like
don't think Trump would want DeSantis on it because Trump kind of likes
he probably doesn't. He must not care about America then. Just
Trump.
saying.
Trump doesn't want another alpha male there. He wants a beta male like Pence, or a female to probably help his suburban women vote. Um, he's not going to go with DeSantis. What's going to happen is Trump's going to go for 4 years. If he actually fixes things, then Trump's going to, he's got after 4 years, he's done.
If he
So
gets back into office, he will be able to be the kingmaker. Like if he gets back into office, turns the
then this,
country
then
around.
DeSantis has free. He's going to win. So DeSantis, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to win. So Trump goes 4 years, then DeSantis for 8, possibly. And if the country's running smooth, maybe this holds the fucking Great Reset for another 12 years.
That great reset in the far left needs to be squashed. I mean, for good. It came up in the 60s and they squashed it then, slowly came back. All this crap. People need to pay more attention to, yeah,
Can you
is
hear
that
my
your
cat?
cat? Yeah.
Yeah. The bitch doesn't even care about me being anywhere in the house until she can't get in the goddamn room. And she's like, oh my God. Like,
She can hear you talking. Well, that's like I told you. I'm in my attic and my blind cat comes up the
hold on, I'm
thing.
going to let her in.
You let your
So
cat
y'all
in.
might see my cat, but I don't know. She's just going to come in here and be an asshole.
All right. Well, while Kevin's letting the cat in, I'm going to
Keep
continue
talking.
with. I do think that we need something big.
Yeah,
Like we
nothing
need
exciting
to
is happening.
purge the left, like the left wing thinking and all that. We need to purge that. That's what I think. What? Okay. So what would be? Who would be Trump's VP? You think?
I think it's going to be a woman, I think. I don't
I
know
hope it's
which
like a
one.
qualified woman, not just a pandering bullshit like they did with what's his
It might
face
be
did with
Reynolds
Palin.
from Iowa. It might be Haley or uh,
Iowa would be good. What's her face from South Dakota? Not or is it South Dakota or North Dakota?
Nikki Haley, or
I'm
is
not a huge fan of her. She's kind of.
she? What she is a panderer, so she'll do
We don't
whatever.
need panders. We need forgers.
That's what your governor is,
Yeah, I know. I do not like my governor,
Greg
and
Abbott.
I'm going to vote for him because he won
That's
the
because
primary.
who you want to do? Vote for Beto?
Yeah, he should really change his nickname to Beta.
No, he has a beta.
Yeah, like I don't know. He's a piece of shit. So, inflation numbers came out this week. Kevin, what'd you think of those?
Not great. I can tell you that. At 9.1%, I think it was. It might have been 9.3. Can't remember the exact number, but whatever it is, it's low. I'm guessing it's I'm guessing inflation's around 20%. I don't think they include gas or fuel and energy, maybe fuel and food. Like there's two big things they do not include to those inflation prices. So
That's what I
I
didn't
don't.
get about it because, like, if you look at like the the staples, the shit that matters, food, fuel, and energy, and housing. Really, housing is way up. That's market stuff, but they're all way higher than 9%. Yet inflation's only 9%. So, like, what's 9%? Like
I well, it's an
napkins.
average. I don't know. It's an average, but like
Everything
they
that comes
take
out of
out.
government's bullshit.
Yeah, they take out two big factors out of that, and I don't get what's going on. Um, but inflation's around 20%. I would say.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the true number. It's the same thing with unemployment, all that stuff. It's all like, let's add in all the lazy pieces of shit that decided not to go back to work and live off the government and be told how they're going to live their lives. Oh no, inflation's at 25%. Or not inflation, but unemployment.
I'm guessing they want to jack up interest rates to like 20%.
They're going to have to, well, the only way to get out of this is to force a recession. What's wrong,
Cat,
Kevin?
cat.
Going crazy?
Rip climbed up on one of my blankets I hung, sir, to de-echo my room, and the
Well, as long as she
blanket
doesn't.
fell.
That's funny. So yeah, we're probably kind of screwed for a while.
Oh yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't
we
know.
are. We're definitely screwed.
What do you think of the videos that came out on Uvalde?
Of the people like sanitizing their hand and just like playing Minesweeper on their phone. Probably not Minesweeper, but
They're just
on
looking
their
at the
phone.
phone.
Yeah, active
You
shooter
know,
in a building killing children. This is a good time to check my Facebook.
yeah, it'd be very
Sanitize
interesting.
my hands.
There is some weird shit that went down with Uvalde. Like the more stuff that comes out and the more we learn, the weirder it is. I mean, not even just the shooter now having $9,000 worth of stuff and expensive truck. There's no way in
Dude,
the world he could have owned. Now the
I don't
cops
want
are just like, well, we're in the building. Children are being murdered. I better have, and they try to make some bullshit excuse like, well, he washed his hands, in case he had to administer first aid. No, he put hand sanitizer on and then walked back and did nothing. Like none of the people in that hallway did shit. And they kept like, and then finally the border patrol showed up. I'm like, no, it was a border patrol agent that showed up that was man enough and didn't give a shit about what the local PD had to say and went in and killed the bastard. Because apparently he wasn't part of whatever discussions went on that had to do with that. Because that is, and that's how conspiracy theories start. Because you got all this weird shit that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It hasn't made sense since the beginning. When a kid that works at Wendy's can afford more fucking guns and ammo than I can, is
Bullshit.
it is bullshit. So I think I figured it out. It would take them 9 months to buy like one just the gun. Then the ammunition alone would be like another 9 months. So he would have had to plan this before he was 18, like when he was 15 years old, before
Well, and
he
there's
even
another
worked at
thing that
Wendy's. So I don't get where he got the money or how he bought these expensive ass guns and ammo. It is a conspiracy, and I don't know what the conspiracy is. Um,
the only thing that like adds up is super dark.
yeah,
Like
like somebody
you
wanted
you, you
children
have
to
like you
die to
have
pass a gun law.
yeah, like you really it boils down to two things. This guy was crazy or this is some kind of setup to push gun control because like nothing makes any sense whatsoever to where like I don't know, it's a weird thing. Did you know that like apparently like all of these kids that commit these mass shootings are on some type of like Ritalin or some type of head med?
Probably fucking something with MK Ultra.
Well, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying like really though you can track it like when these mass shootings started because I think Ritalin and shit came out when we were in elementary school. I was never put on it. My Ritalin was a whooping, and that's what kept
Yeah,
me in line.
exactly.
But like
Exactly.
apparently that's a thing. Like all these kids that have done this are on some type of medication. So that's weird. And we probably need to look into that. Because like, nobody wants to do the work anymore. It's like either there's something in the food or something that's making kids to where they're not normal kids like we were. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I had an attention span a centimeter long. It's like I was a class clown. I got in trouble. I got grounded a lot. But my parents didn't put me on any drugs. It's like, you do it again, I'm going to whoop your ass. You're grounded. I mean, but then, like, apparently, I'd say around like when we were in high school ish, that's when people started being like, I'm not going to whoop my kid. I'm going to be my kid's best friend. And that's, and then like you could always tell like it's cool when you're younger because those parents are the ones that may or may not let you have parties at their house, which is cool. Like you go over, but you're over there like having a good time. Like, yeah, your parents are horrible,
Oh yeah. Your
but
parents.
thanks for the
Thank you.
place to drink.
Exactly.
Like even
Thank you,
back then,
parents.
I was like, these are horrible parents.
Thank you, cool parents. Oh yeah.
Yeah, back then it's cool. Then you're like, but no, even back then I was like, you're not the best parents in the world.
Dude, it's I don't know. It's hard to say I don't know what's going on. And there's obviously a an epidemic of some sort where um do I don't know if kids are weirder or darker or more depressed. But there's something going on to where somebody needs to look into it and actually
Yeah,
fix
I
it,
think
not just add
these
more medication to it to fix it.
these algorithms with social media and stuff like that, and people like giving a shit what people online think of them, and I don't know. There's a bunch of people that
The
think
only
they're
people
tough
I give a
online.
shit who care about me online are you, the viewer and listener. You
Unless
people
you're
are
talking
also,
shit, then I'll just think it's funny and I'll
yeah,
have a good
and
time.
I still have a good time because you're not going to get me down. Life does that. You don't.
Life's that anchor that drags me down to the bottom of the ocean of despair, not you. Speaking of despair, Kevin,
Ooh
that kind of
boy.
rolls us right into Sri Lanka
Oh,
and the shining example. Now, I've heard,
I
I've
heard
heard
it's a
people.
Green New Deal paradise.
Oh, they bought a hook, like and sinker. Like they just committed. Their ESG score is like 98%.
It's weird that their citizens are overthrowing their country then.
I think the correct thing is overthrown the country.
Oh yeah,
the
overthrown.
The
Yeah.
president literally left the country, and people were swimming in his pool. And I heard they may have burned down the mansion, which good for them because anybody who follows the World Economic Forum, which is ran by a guy who sounds like every bad guy from every freaking movie ever made that has a German bad guy in it, uh, deserves to have their house burnt down. But they had an article on their website about how Sri Lanka is going to be the richest government or country in the world, or where we're going to make them super rich by 2025. And now the stuff that happened last week happened, and that article is nowhere to be found on the internet.
It's weird how it just disappears like that, right?
Yeah, and
This
that's
is what the Green New Deal will do to us, folks. People are going to make you buy into it, and you don't have to go. You don't have to go with it because I mean you live here, right? Um, then people are going to get upset. Then uh, what happens to Sri Lanka is what's going to happen here. Because this shit doesn't work. I'm sorry. Everybody wants cleaner energy. Everybody wants a clean energy, but you can't put the cart before the horse because you have to have an energy to go to, an affordable energy. And we don't. We don't have anything as good as fossil fuels. We just don't. So until something comes along that is actually as good as fossil fuels, we gotta stick with fossil fuels. I'm not saying stop looking and shit like that, but don't push an agenda before you have something to back it up with. Because there ain't enough windmills in the goddamn world, in the universe, probably, to power the world. Uh, solar is just not efficient enough. I think a fossil fuel is like 96% efficient, and solar is like less than 30%.
There is
I think
no
wind
clean
energy is
energy.
even worse.
There is no clean energy alternative other than nuclear that is feasible for mass consumption. Like windmills and solar panels might work on your house, like to help lower your a bill and possibly like not have a bill. Like individually on a house, it may help, but as far as like mass consumption, nope.
Weirdly, the UK just said nuclear is now green energy.
It is green energy. It's
I
zero
know,
emission.
but before they said it was not because there's nuclear waste. So
Probably because the United Kingdom saw what's happening to Germany.
yeah,
They
so
those dumbasses closed down all their shit, went green, was going to rely on Russia for natural gas, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to send it."
well, I mean that's why they're paying so much more in gas because most of their oil comes from Russia. So they're paying like $10 a fucking gallon.
Yeah, I don't know how much money these World Economic Forum assholes promise these people or whatever, but every country, France, Germany, there's a bunch of like, and if you notice, the people buying into this bullshit are the
Whatever
West.
communist made this ESG score, I mean seriously,
Well,
this
that's
is
why
what's
they've banned
ruining
it in certain states. Every state
this
in America should ban ESG.
because this is ridiculous. This is what's ruining the world. And I'm not even going to apologize for. I mean, it's what's ruining the world. This ESG bullshit is. I mean, it's bullshit. So I don't
No,
know.
that's what led to the
It's what's
farmer.
causing all this. I can tell you what. It's this and these dumbass countries and states that did lockdowns when they didn't need to do lockdowns, and these ESG scores and these stupid green fucking shit. And this is it's annoying as shit because there's a simple fact that uh, people suck. I mean, that's it. That's my fact. People fucking suck.
Anytime you have a group of elites that think that they know the better way for you to run your life, uh, they don't. They just want the power. Your life is going to be shit. No one is going to have a life under the big reset, the Great New Deal, Green New Deal, all that. But your life's going to be shit. Okay, there is no utopia. Okay, that's not going to happen. It's these people want power and they want to run everything. The problem is you have the World Economic Forum and you have China. At some point, if we don't get our shit together and tell these people to F off, those things are going to clash because China is not going. China is for world domination. That's what they're doing. That's why everyone's looking at Russia. I mean, obviously, okay, Ukraine's corrupt as shit. They're in this long, drawn out war with Russia. And what's their government doing? Contemplating whether or not to legalize gay marriage while they're at war with Russia. It's a corrupt government put in by the United States. We're probably backing them up because people in Washington probably have dirty money all over there. In the meantime, China is settling all over the world. Like they're going after was it Brazil? The big it's
Probably,
like the I think it's the biggest country down in South America.
yeah,
The
Brazil.
one with the big statue of Jesus.
No, that's fucking Peru.
Peru. Is that the city or this? Is that Peru? The one with the big statue of Jesus. They're going after there. It's like the last like pro-American country left in South America.
It's and China. Do you think China's fucking following any of this fucking green
No,
shit?
they don't
No,
give a
they're the
shit.
biggest polluters in the world. We
Them in India.
yeah. India's not doing this shit either. I mean, because the money's not into it,
Well,
Somehow,
no, they're not stupid. They want to
yeah.
develop their country,
I'm
not send
not
it
saying
back
they're
to the
not
Stone Age.
stupid. I'm not saying they're not stupid. I'm not. They probably are. I mean, the leaders aren't because they're going to stay in power because it's communism, and I don't know what India is.
India
And
is like I don't
is
know
it
about
the
the government per se, but I know that India is set up on a caste system to where like if you're born into a lower class family, that's where you're at, and the higher like if you're born into a higher level family, then you're like I've seen people over here in the United States where I'm because with my last company I worked for and stuff like that, I work with a lot of Indians from India. But I've seen people like that work at the same company, and one guy has a better, higher ranking job than the other guy. But this guy's family is of higher regard in India, so he talks shit to this guy like no other, and the guy is, just agrees with it.
all right? Hey, I gotta take a pee, so put on the pee break.
P
Peace.
break. And we're back.
Hello,
Less buoyant
folks.
than we were. All right, so we were talking about ESG, World Economic Forum, why you should never trust a guy with a thick German accent talking about taking over the world.
A
Never
Bond
turns out
villain.
right. A Bond villain. So another thing that's going on, that's another example of how they're trying to do is Netherlands, to go into green new energy, tried to told the farmers they got to cut back on their livestock emissions, and the farmers were like, "No, fuck you." And they've had a big to do going on, blocking stuff, and they're like, I heard somebody talking about them that they said, well, they got to watch it because if you start messing with people's daily lives, blah blah. I'm like, the government is messing with these people's livelihood, period, and their livelihood just happens to feed the country. So if people want to get pissed off at the farmers, they deserve to starve because it's not the farmers, it's the government. Do you
It is
agree,
the
Kevin?
government. Absolutely, it's the government's fault. Even the firemen joined in. Like the firemen were backing the farmers, so good on the firemen of the Dutch firemen.
Yeah, not good on the cops that fired their guns at like a 16-year-old
No,
kid.
hey, cops, you're commies. So, yeah, this whole I I I think the Netherlands might be the next Sri Lanka. I mean, let's
Hopefully
be
not.
real.
They're literally this world's second largest producer of like farm goods in the world, next to
Yeah, and
us.
this is what's bullshit about this is we might be heading in this direction.
No, we're
They're
totally
already
heading in
talking.
this direction.
They've already been talking about the methane from the cattle in the U.S. How that's bad for the environment and global warming and I'm not saying that global warming isn't happening. I'm saying I don't think it's the cow's fault. I don't think it's really our fault in America. I mean, I don't think anymore. Uh, but no one wants to put any blame on China, who has no regulations, or India, like we were talking about earlier. Um, these are the two biggest contributors to emissions, and no one seems to be doing anything about it, other than trying to cut back their emissions even more. And the Netherlands emissions are already what probably negligible freaking amount where it doesn't matter, and they want to cut it back more and just totally tank their fucking economy and piss their people off because they want to look good to a 17-year-old fucking girl that bitched to them 3 years ago.
No, she's not 17, Kevin. She's 18. She's now legally an adult. And we can talk shit about her.
Yeah.
But if you do, how dare you?
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
I don't get why anybody listening to her anyway. Like even when it's like, who gives a shit what this kid who's just
Who is this
spouting off?
rich bitch that's going to talk to me about?
Well, she's just spouting off what her far left parents are telling her to say, and then she's like, "Well, she's autistic to where if you ask her questions about what she says, she stops talking."
Yeah, or she doesn't know the fucking answers. You
Now she's
know,
just like, "How dare you question my worldview of bullshit?" It's like,
I
yeah,
just
is there climate change? Yes, climate change is all the time. The United States does everything for the most part, cleaner, better than anyone else in the world. But let's like lock us down. Like China and India, I think are in the Paris Climate Agreement, but they don't have to do shit for like 50 years or whatever. Could be wrong. You fact check me on. I don't give a shit.
I don't. Even if it was next year, they're not going to do shit. There's
No,
no
they're not going to do anything.
penalty.
They're not stupid. Like I'm not going to. We're not going to torpedo our economy or our energy sector. That's dumb. But our leaders, I really want to know what these world leaders were promised to totally destroy their country. Like none of this works out on paper. Like if we could get rid of fossil fuels and figure out like some kind of clean energy, like I don't even care if it's
Well,
nuclear.
I don't believe in this shit anyways. I just want this shit because it's cheaper. If you can find a cheaper way for me to live, I'm all for it. And that's it. I don't believe in this. I mean, there's been like fucking 9 or 10 times that the fucking world has gone through an ice age and a warm up. It's a natural
Yeah,
progression
I actually
of the
think
world.
that we're
And we're
delayed
not
for
really
that.
even changing that much. I mean, they kept predicting that Florida would be underwater in 10 years. And that was from 1980. It's
Well,
been
all you
40
got to do
fucking
is just
years, and Florida's still doing pretty good. I mean, it's still there.
you
We have
just
a
got to keep
president.
throwing shit at the wall, and sooner or later, something. I think it's like when people talk about Nostradamus. It's like, all right, it's probably a guy who ate a bunch of shrooms, wrote a bunch of shit down, and if you span that out long enough through
Dude,
human history,
have you seen those? Like, have you seen the Nostradamus stuff? It's like the most vague shit. And people are like, no, this is about Hitler, and this is about
well, you
the
write
death
something
of.
down and give it enough time, it's like, see, that's what he was talking about. It's like, I don't
Exactly.
know.
I'm gonna write down a bunch of shit. I'm gonna get super high sometime and just write down shit. Hide it in a time capsule. I hope somebody fucking sees. In 50 years, and be like, holy shit, this guy was right. And that's gonna make it as vague as possible.
I know they're gonna say if you look back in history, and if we don't like at least get, I don't know what the Congress and Senate can do other than impeach him, but you still got Democrats in power and all this shit. And you go to Kamala, who's just a total joke. But if they can stop him, that's fine. But we'll look back in 50 years and be like, at the start of 2020, and then thereon is when America went just totally stupid, fell, and the world went into chaos. And now we all speak Chinese because like that's what they're doing. Like I don't care what anybody says. These World Economic Forum dipshits that back Dan Crenshaw, which is not someone you want backing you up. Uh, they're they're going to run into with China right now, and they're strategically placing themselves all over the globe. They're colonizing all over the globe, but nobody pays attention to them. Let's look at Russia, who's attacking Ukraine. And at this point, I don't even give a shit. Like they'll say, "Well, we're going to have
Why do
high
we
gas
keep backing
prices."
them? Let them take it. Fuck it.
Well, that's the problem. It's like Biden's like, "Well, how long are we going to have this high gas prices and stuff?" Well, until we beat Russia. Like, at this point, I don't give a shit. Okay,
Russia's not
Ukraine.
going to lose.
I feel bad
All
about the
we're doing is
Ukrainian
drawing it
people.
out. I do too, because it's some kind of fucking bull. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk over you, but this is fucking horse shit because this is this just I don't get it. It's frustrating because why are we backing? I'm not saying we should back Russia at all, but why are we even in this?
I know why. I think we're in it because of corruption, but through the government and through Ukraine, because it is kind of weird that they happen to put an actor as the president. But it's like I feel bad for the Ukrainian people just trying to live their lives. All through human history,
Hold
like
on,
we've said it
real quick.
before, most people just want to live their lives, and that's cool. And it's a handful of assholes that think they know better than everybody else that fucks everything up for everybody else.
You're surprised they put an actor as president. We put a dead guy as president.
Well, that's true.
And you're surprised they put an actor? I wish we
According
had
to
an actor. At least
according
he
to
could.
certain conspiracy theories, Biden's a robot.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I don't believe that. I think he's an invalid.
If he's
But
a robot, he needs an update and an
yeah,
upgrade. There's something
I
going on
I'd
with the
rather him be
chip.
a robot. I'd rather have a chimpanzee signing me like sign language of what he's saying. I'd rather have that.
Yeah. I mean,
Because the
I don't
dude,
know.
I don't know, the dude literally reads out the prompter. You can tell this when he says repeat the line on, on a
Well, and it's
speech.
messed up because I half-assed, like, I try to feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, I don't because he's been in politics his entire life, never done anything, and he's always been a piece of shit politician. So it's like, yeah, I feel bad for anybody who's going through dementia, which obviously he is. So he's losing himself mentally. That's a sad thing. But he is not a good person. He's a piece of shit. And that's why I don't feel bad for him. I kind of would like to, but I don't. And the fact that he's supposedly the president of the country, it's like that makes it even worse.
Technically, the strongest, the most powerful man in the world
Yeah. Who
is this
doesn't
guy.
like who literally has cards that say turn right, turn
This
left,
guy
stop.
basically he panders to whatever the strongest part of the left is, and right now it seems to be the progressive left. The only time he was not doing that in his whole political career was the one time when every Democrat voted or was like for Roe v. Wade, and he wasn't.
Yeah. But now that it's taken away, we're taking away your rights. By the way, I just signed a gun bill that infringes on your rights.
Just to let you know, everyone, the guy's a hypocrite. So
He's a total. Everyone on the left is a hypocrite. They're all a bunch of losers. But I think that wraps this episode up for this week, Kevin. You got anything else you want to say?
celebrities are dumb. Don't listen.
They are
to them.
dumb.
Make
They
your
are
own
dumb.
opinions, and if you can't make your own opinions, believe our opinions.
That's right. Our opinions are awesome. But until next week, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this was the lost art of common sense.
Common sense! Common sense!